Everybody, what's up, family? Peace and blessings to all. Salute to the Most High ancestors and the spiritual team. Also to my higher self. Just thought I'd get on here and see what's going on with everybody. Hope all is well. Shouts out to my subscribers. Shouts out to the future ones to come. You know, today was a beautiful day. It's a day that I remember when we was kids. And then speaking of everyone else, there has been a child as well. You go outside, the sun is shining real good, and you got a nice breeze, so it's not too hot, but it's enough breeze going on. But it was super hot earlier from what I was told, and it was good to feel that versus what a lot of times I'm not for sure if you guys are familiar with chemtrails. And chemtrails is where those people, is the word I'm going to use, so you'll be able to get the message. I don't have to call names out and titles and that all the time, but they put those chemtrails in the air so those things can actually block us melanin people from getting the sun, because that's one of the most powerful tools that we have besides all the other tools that we use in the physical realm, prayer, affirmations, and positive thinking, and positive emotions, and opportunities to actually see other people who are using those tools or tools that you have not discovered yet. And then, they activate your gifts and they allow you to know that you're part of that epidemic that's in the making. So it's good just to know that regardless of those things, that we still get the sunlight and we still get to come outside and enjoy the day and things like that. So I didn't get to catch the sun earlier like I wanted to, but I got an opportunity to catch it a little bit before it went down. It's very important for melanin people to get your vitamin D. That's where we get our vitamin D. That's where we get our power. It's also where we also get the opportunity to transmute negative energy and negative emotions and negativity. It's a lot to say today, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of a couple things that my spirit was able to actually observe, which is different type of topics. Sometimes you'll catch different type of topics all in one versus doing one broadcast with just one simple topic. Not that you would be bored, but people get bored easily, especially when it comes down to important things. But the important things is what's going to actually help you overcome and also be able to observe things that you could avoid. So I know wisdom seems like a boring thing, but then when people see those people who have wisdom, they wondering how they achieve things in their life, especially in this physical realm, because people are very physical, materialistic. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem becomes when people abuse the materialistic things and they start talking down on others, or they get very arrogant and egotistic and cocky, male or female, and those things make them end up losing those things, by death, or people start doing some spiritual work against them, or they start sending them the evil eye and stuff like that. That's why it's so, important to be humble. You know what I mean? Because those same people came from where we at, or where we leaving from to go to where they're at. If that make any sense? What's up? How you doing? Hi. Are you subscribed with me? If not, you're most definitely welcome to actually press that button. I appreciate your support. All it takes is people to take time out to listen, listen what you can. And then, you can come back later if you don't have time to listen. Gives you the opportunity to actually see if it's something that you can actually utilize in your life. I appreciate you. Thank you. Where you from? I feel like I'm doing this broadcast like my other platform. I just actually just retired from that platform. I would say that even if there's spiritual work being done, that's okay, because the Most High most definitely always put us in places that we need to be. And sometimes things are just, the season's over. as bad as I want the season to keep going there, I'm seeing nothing. You know what I mean? I'm seeing nothing as far as time being wasted. And, these platforms, they can shadow ban you as well by people complaining about, making up lies. Even if, there's situations where there's truth with a lot of people, but they don't never shadow ban those type of people. They like that type of energy, very toxic, negative, and so forth, so on. So they prefer to have that on these platforms than something positive, that's something that changes people's life. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not on platform, but what get the most attention is negative things. What's up, Cook? Cool kid, I'm at. I don't know how to say y'all names, but uh, what's good? Um, so I'm just here for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Just on this mission for the Most High. I was just talking to the Most High to give me more discipline. You know what I'm saying? More focus. Because a lot of time when you're around the people that's not on your frequency or even have any goals and ambitions, it can drain you. Then it also can demotivate you, and you got to figure out how to stay motivated. So I spend a lot of quality time to myself, and speaking to the Most High and ancestors and spiritual team. Things that people don't believe that exist, but it exists. If you ever cross somebody, you're gonna find out. Fortunately, you had to say it that way, but then it's also you can run across people who are in line with the divine, and also those things that I gave example of, and you will see his or her miracles that works in their life. I just, I look at other people and stuff like that. One of the young ladies mentioned that a lot of people are wasting so much time, like if they got time, and I have to evaluate that same thing with myself. But when you have to rely on the wicked to actually make it to the top, and then I'm saying when I say rely on, meaning they in the way. You know what I'm saying? The wicked is in the way. Everything that we have observed from a child or even before birth into as an adult, it's wicked people dressed up very well, and they punish other people who are not in those places that they do the same thing. Whether we talking about drugs, any topic, the short version of it, any topic you could think of, they do the same stuff. They are the leaders of these things, and they punish humanity for these things that humanity were left with no option to, or hindered or oppressed. You know, um, I saw this one young lady, right? She was speaking about, racism and stuff like that. She's in a class with a lot of white groups, or a group of whites, and they called her cotton picker monkey. And I was just like, the thing that I would tell anybody, even if they're not prepared for, is that there was white slaves. There's pictures of white slaves, and that's white people's ancestors. So I don't understand why they think, for those who do, it's not all white people. Shouts out to the real ones. You feel me? They got that Negro in them. That these certain selective Caucasians / white people feel that they're better than everybody, but you're not. I want y'all to understand, because you see people with a house, a car, a little bit of money and stuff like that. They're not financially literate to the point where they actually handling business. Then on top of that, I'm not just talking about white people. I'm talking about anybody. Let's get that straight. Have a bad heart. They're not kind. They're not nice. They have more than enough, and they don't even know how to give, because them are called curses that they ancestors created during this journey. White people have been in rulership over the world for 700 some plus years. And before they took that rulership, we was rulership for like 900 some plus years. We're talking about some updated information. We ain't talking about the back in the millions and billions years ago, where I talked about where was Jesus at, you know what I'm saying? So let me give y'all this logic. I was just analyzing, I've read the Bible and stuff like that. So this is my thing. The creator being the creator, the question would be, why did the creator already saved by the creator when they was created? By he or she have free will to do either good or bad in their life. Why did he need to do something twice when he don't never miss when he do it the first time? Blaming Whitney. Who is Whitney? Silly, man. Y'all silly. Hope y'all having a good day, man. So them some questions that a pastor couldn't answer or a pope. Like I tell people all the time, religion is used to manipulate people's belief and also to manipulate your faith and believing in the Creator. So you have a lot of people who say they believe, but they don't believe. You got a lot of people who are acted out and do it very well, and then you have some who slip up. But not knocking it, but we putting it out there so people can recognize it. You may be one of those individuals, but what you can do is actually stand in that true faith and actually not worry about what other people think and let the Most High pour those blessings and that favor. You got a lot of people who be talking about they're favored and just made me think about the guy that used to be my best friend. He said the same thing, and he ended up getting 105 years. So the Most High had warned him by actually telling me to give him the message. Having the gift of discernment is a blessing. So it's a lot of times we can say things are gift and a curse, but it's not a curse, man, because the gift itself saves me from a lot of situations where I get along with people, but people don't get along with me. And I understand there's many different reasons. Some people are traumatized, they haven't healed, got a lot of pain going on, are codependent, they're manipulated, deceivers, tricksters. I mean, the list goes on. So we don't have anything in common. It made me think about the young lady yesterday in her broadcast. She was like, "Yeah, we just don't align," and I understood because I'm not a pretender, and she's fighting to be as real as possible, but it's not there. But when it come down to like, she's looking for someone to take care of her. You know what I mean? Just kind of use one example, and she has a lot of masculine that overpowers her feminine. Women and men should be able to balance both of those things out without them feeling like they have to dominate another person that has free will to do what he or she chooses, even if it's going in the wrong way. That you can actually have a conversation with them, but then it's important for you to understand that it's their choice, and then it's a choice for you to actually deal with the situations or walk away. A lot of people prefer to deal with the situation, still not remember it's 8 plus billions of people in the world that they could selectively find in their life. It made me think also about how a man or woman can actually give up in anything, whether it's a job, entrepreneurship, a relationship, or building a family, or goals, or being motivated, or getting it out of the mud. It makes me just think about how people just instantly give up and they just transition to the devil. They just start doing devilish things and devil work, and then they still vocalizing how much they are a loving person. And when you tell people that, people are really going to be on their P's and Q's, meaning that they're going to be very observant and watching your actions, the things that you say, the way you move and stuff like that, how you treat them. And you're going to show them that you're not what you say you are, and that's what's going to make them start talking about you and acting out. And even if you are not those things, people still have a space to actually still do that same thing, which is talk about you and so forth, so on. And you just got to have tough skin out here when it comes down to relatives and your friends or people you grew up with or new people that you end up meeting and stuff like that. You got to have real tough skin out here so you can actually be able to endure the attacks. If you're not getting attacked by the devil, you might want to check in and find out what's going on. Person said, well, why necessarily got to get attacked by the devil? Because when you get attacked by the devil, you're doing something right. Doing something right. Because every little thing that you want to do, it doesn't matter whether it's marriage, you want to be in a relationship, or you want more money, if you want to be more healthier, or you want to think more positive, the devil's going to come in and want you to think the opposite of anything that you desire. And he's going to throw delays, obstacles, he's going to throw people, he's going to use people. The closest people that can get close to you and the closest people that are close to you, even if people from a distance are going to try to get close to you, he's going to use those people to get to you. And you're going to have to lean on the Most High in order to understand what I just said, in order to overcome and conquer what I said, because we can't see it without the Most High favor and also the Most High steering us in the direction we need to be steered. Because crooked places, something you can put in your prayer. God, may you, as I travel this journey, may every crooked place that I travel, may it be turned, straightened, or may it be straightened for me. May every weapon that's formed against me not prosper, but every form that does come against me, may you bind it. May you destroy it. May you dismantle it. Things like that. You want some powerful words in your prayer, because people are powerful out here, especially on the wicked side where they're doing a lot of evil things. These people, they are resilient. When I say resilient, they're never going to show their face. So you ain't got to worry about that. Meaning it ain't going to pop out. You know what I'm saying? The word we use, pop out. When you pop out, everybody see what's going on with you. They're never going to show their face as far as who they are, what they're doing. They're not going to tell you nothing. They're just going to keep hiding. You know what I'm saying? That's all they do. Witches and warlocks, that's what they do. They hide. And if they do come in the mixture of others, they blend in as they just nice person. Gotta be very careful, man. Gotta be very careful. Can't be keep eating food from different people and taking any and every object that somebody, oh, I got this present for you. But ask the Most High, is it okay for you to take it? Man, listen, all I'm telling you is that you want to ask the Most High everything in your life, what I do, what I need to do. I promise and guarantee you're going to get answers. Don't be looking for no answers right away. Like, oh man, ain't nothing happening. If no answer actually comes right then and there, that means stand still. Stand still means just wait. Doesn't mean not go on with your life and do your daily, activities and stuff like that you've been doing. But I'm telling you, people who do not follow the Most High is missing the mark. Look at Diddy. If Diddy would have did the right thing by people and not mix this up with the wrong people, then 9 out of 10 wouldn't be in the situation that he in. But he would be in a situation, possibility, like Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? Like with her. The only reason she's exposing people and talking about people because she ain't got no job and they kicked her to the curb. That's the only reason she's exposing and talking about stuff. So she's trying to, the word that I'm not looking, it's not resurrect. She's trying to redeem herself. That's the word I'm looking for. She's trying to redeem herself by all the wrong that she already had observed, and she kept her mouth closed and she didn't say anything because of where she was at and how much she wanted to be there. So she didn't put the Most High first. Most High would have actually gave her some leniency if she would have been exposing that stuff right then and there. You know what I mean? So just look at Angie Stone, for example. She started seeing things at the last minute. That's why we try to teach people and educate people that it's very important that you tap into your spiritual side. You're not a fleshly being, meaning your flesh is going to decay at some point, or we decay on a day-to-day basis with this flesh. So we die every day, every second, whatever. So we're supposed to live the best of the best moment. See, if we stop channeling into these television shows and news and all that stuff that's negative, you want to be tapping in the positive things. If you say, well, I'm in the hood or I'm in this place and that place, you need to be doing affirmations. You need to be working on your chakras. You need to actually be becoming what it is that you like versus watch what you like. But as if you choose to watch what you like, then you should choose also to be activated to actually become that. Time waits for no man. Time is the essence. That's what people are missing the most on the planet is time. They're missing a lot of time. You know how much time people spend 8 or more hours doing nothing and say, you know what, I'm going to take this 30 minutes and I'm going to actually write down some things. And I'm going to start from the smallest thing to complete a goal. I'm not going to share it with nobody. I just want to share it with myself and what I believe in. And as I accomplish this goal is going to give me the ammunition and the motivation to know that I can do greater things. People don't understand. In order to be wealthy or abundant in anything, it starts from the seed. It really can start, or there's levels. I mean, I can add the Most High, then your mind, then your words, and your thoughts, and then the seed itself, and then it grow. Either way it go, you're putting seeds out on a day-to-day basis. And when you see a negative emotion or negative frequency or thought, whatever, that's the time that you can actually use an affirmation, or you can reflect on that emotion or thought or situation that you may be in. What's the best thing, not only for me, but also if there's a third party or other parties involved, what's the best reality for all of us that's going to bring safety, peace, and harmony, regardless if they want to be in safety, peace, or harmony or not, happy and joyful. At least you know how to do it, and at least you know what to do, versus not being able to take the accountability, being a leader that you are already designed to be, and that you can actually go into the situation where that you're going to lead and not follow or stay stagnant in the situation and just say, well, I don't care, or I don't give a F, and whatever happens, happens. You don't want to be in those situations. You know why? Because there's people that you see on YouTube all the time and other platforms that be in that situation. They're out of here. They either in jail or dead, or they have some type of disability where they don't have the abilities they had at once, where they're losing body parts, no longer could walk, no longer could talk, brain dead, whatever the case may be, in comas. And the list goes on. I want people to understand that none of us are exempt of anything that we see, or if we're boasting about what people are doing and like, yeah, that's what he get. Yeah, that's what she get. We got to be very mindful of that, because the universe can teach us a lesson by actually hitting somebody. When I say hitting somebody, meaning touching somebody that we care about, and then it start affecting you mentally, emotionally. Now you start having these mental health issues. Some of the things you guys can work on: mental health, emotional health, your stability, not only on a financial level, but also your stability, which is back to the two same things that I mentioned. It can be your mind, it can be your emotion, it can be your physical health, the way of thinking. You want to obtain wisdom in order to function in this planet, because it's like a roller coaster, or it is a roller coaster. You don't know what the next day gonna bring for you, or the next few months, few weeks, because in all actuality, you have to be prepared, and that's something that we won't be prepared for. But in the preparation of being unprepared, we'll be in the process of preparing in the unprepared circumstances that allow us to actually learn things about ourselves and about the situation. Then we express it, and we help other people, and so forth, so on. What I don't understand about people, how you not love the Most High when the Most High loved you enough to actually allow you to come here? Mother and father didn't do it alone. You know what I mean? So it's like people take life, they don't appreciate it. You can say hi to someone. I can remember as a kid observing people speaking to one another and helping one another, and so forth, so on. Now people are just very standoffish, and what they express and what they feel about things they experience or observe, they put other people who have not given them the reason to even compare them to other situations or people, which is not, it's a false doctrine, it's a false belief, it's not no factual facts there. And what has to happen at root chakra, where the fear needs to be released and also healed. A lot of people are, see, the way society has done this thing is to put people in fear. So when you're in fear, your root chakra is in balance. You know what I'm saying? People are when they come down their chakras, they are in their lower chakras versus their heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye, and crown chakra. People not in this. So meaning that your root chakra at the bottom, and then underneath your belly is the sacred chakra, and then above your belly is the solar plex chakra. That's something you guys can study as well. Some of you may already be studying, but it's always good to keep studying, because we always learn new things. But what I'm saying is, with that chakra itself, or those chakras at the very bottom or whatever, those chakras right there, if they're not in a line, then that disconnects your heart to the things that you're passionate about. Or even if you connected to someone, you're not able to give him or her, your children or your job or any opportunity or anything that you desire, the 100 beyond limitless percent. So it allows you to actually be in a negative state, because the heart chakra is closed out. Your heart chakra should not be closed out, because it's not healthy, for one. for a lot of things. For your aura. Your aura is an energy field that covers your body. It gives you signals when somebody may be walking behind you. It gives you feelings about wherever you may go, that it's either good or it's not, or it's uncomfortable. I could say bad, but either way it go, uncomfortability is the same similarity to bad. Yeah, there's a cure for everything. We got a lot of holistic doctors out here that's on the rise and very young. They stepping in, while the ones that the ones that's older, they just fear getting killed. You know what I'm saying? But I tell people anything, you're not going nowhere until the Most High call you. You will serve your purpose if you choose to serve it. If you choose not to serve it, then that just means you're not protected by the Most High. Everybody don't have protection by the Most High because they say they love God and they go to church, or they can read scriptures, or they can say the most inspirational thing. Only he or she will know that. You know what I'm saying? That's speaking in general, and that's without judgment. But the truth of the judgment is true. You got people that you seen like Mo 3, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, but you out here killing people. And regardless if he squeezed the gun or not, he has someone to do it. So, if we go biblical and people say they so religious or is religious, then the biblical scripture said that you will be held accountable for anyone that you cause to actually not know who I am as the Most High. Even though it say Most High, it says God. Anyone that you lead astray, you will pay for it. So I make sure that I lead by example, and I make sure that I stand in my power that's given from the Most High, and that, at the end of the day, it's already challenged, for a very long time, that we sit and observe these people who call themselves leaders. A leader is leading people to the promised land. Everybody's leading. It ain't a certain group. Trust me, a lot of people don't really understand. And, I ain't picking at people and stuff like that when I call out different race and stuff like that, even though, we so many different nationalities, but there's groups out there, I'm just using that word, there's groups out there that make you think that they so well off, but they're not well off. When you getting loans from a bank, or you using a credit line or credit card and stuff like that, that's not wealth. Wealth is where you actually have so much money coming in that you don't need no bank. You are the bank. You know what I'm saying? The bank is begging you. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because it's just a lot of stuff that people don't really understand and really know about the truth that's right in front of them. So, but because of that, it's a blessing just to have us to be able to get here and speak the things and say the things that people are scared to say, or people are saying among themselves, or they fear for their life and stuff like that. Us as the chosen seed, we don't fear nothing. We get attacked every day. Trust me, before I even did this live, there's a certain way that the Most High allows me to know when it can be regular people as well as witches and warlocks and sorcerers and wizards and all that that's doing this, conjuring up all these spells and stuff, because they don't want me to tell you guys nothing positive. They want you to go in the wrong direction. And the reason why witches and warlocks don't like chosen people or people who love God, you can be the collective, you can be a human being, because they don't believe in God, and they are the children of the dark. And that father of the darkness, they're willing to do anything for it. Anything. They willing to do anything, whatever it takes. Take you out of here, take your kids, cause women to lose their kids to PPC or PPS, whatever they call themselves. Them people are very wicked too. Some wicked people. All them people are demons. I don't care if they got a sweet personality or not. For you to actually put yourself in a position to feel like you have authority over a parent, mother, father. And I know there's some situations where parents don't take care of their kids and stuff like that. But even with that being said, you still have them abusing the fact that it's no better than when they're in their custody. You know what I'm saying? You got these group homes and stuff like that, and these little institutions. and they supposed to be rehabilitation, but them kids be getting verbally and physically abused and neglected. They go through the same thing, but 10 times worse than when they was dealing with the relative or the mother or the or the parent rather to say. And then if a relative get it, they only get them. They only doing it for the money. They're not taking the money and actually investing in the child. They actually abusing it. That's the same as when somebody go live with somebody and say, "Yeah, I help you. Oh yeah, you could lay on the couch. Oh, I got a spare bedroom. Boo, boo, boo. Oh yeah, you can eat all you can eat." Them fake people and them some of the people, they don't have to necessarily go to church, but they'll have some type of representation saying how real they are, and they're not real at all. And so when those situations start happening, you find them individuals actually manipulating the situation and using their authority and their power against people because they feel like, hey, this is my household. You just got to listen to what I say. If you don't want to listen to what I have to say, then you got to go. And so that puts a person in a hard place when it's already a negative situation by them actually dealing with what they're dealing with. It might be a situation where a house done burnt down, or they may lost their home. It could be anything. So with all that being said, they already making the situation difficult for them to actually be able to mentally focus and to also be able to survive whatever they're going through, trying to heal, trying to stay positive, trying to stay motivated. It's impossible to stay motivated and positive if you are in a situation where you're around people who's supposed to give you nothing but support and love, but they don't give you the love and support because they're pretending. That's a hurtful situation. And then it's like I said again, it's a burden on top of other burdens. That ain't counting the people that they grow up with. That's not counting the people they end up thinking, okay, they all right. They good to, connect with, compromise, etc. Just leaving a person in the dust. You know what I'm saying? So when you're leaving a person in the dust, that allows them to feel more depleted. It's already bad enough when people think a certain way about themselves, but then they have other people who pretend that they really like them or they support them or they love them. And then when certain situations happen, they show them the true version of who they are. And then what happens to people, because they care about those people or they have attachment or they have codependent issues and so forth. So this what makes them actually have problems with other people who have not or would not do these type of things. That's why it's so important to have a close relationship with the Most High. So your enemies or people who pretend, they can always miss the opportunity to hurt you in any form or fashion. Rather, it's something that they need to heal from, or they just a person that like to hurt people. And this will help you actually avoid a lot of many different things. And if you do experience, don't take it as a punishment, but look at it as a lesson and also look at it as growth, and then also look at it as wisdom, because the Most High ain't gonna put no more than you can bear, and then the Most High always gonna put you through something or allow something to happen. So not only that you can grow, but you also, especially if you got kids, or that information that you experience is gonna be passed on to somebody that you're gonna meet at some point in time on your journey. So that's very important to understand, because I didn't realize that, until I got to that point where the Most High felt like I was ready for that growth. So then He expanded, and then He actually showed me what it is I need to see, and that's how I'm able to tell you guys. Yeah, I agree to that. I mean, with me, I'm straight. I'm saying, like, the issues that I've had in the past, I don't have those issues. I have different new issues. Issues are never going to change, no matter how much we outgrow things or we feel we can miss anything. That sometimes those things, meet new faces and you know um, can repeat itself just to see if you learn the lesson or there's something um, added to that. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I think maybe that message is for whomever you're speaking. Yeah, I feel that you're speaking in general. A little partial feel like it's, you're saying it to me, but in all actuality, that's not a part of who I am. It didn't take me a long time to really get to understand like it would take other people. And understanding comes with being having an open heart and an open mind, and then also actually having a close relationship with the Most High. And again, like I said before, a lot of people don't have a close relationship with the Most High, but the opportunity is there. And if you think you burnt the bridge, then you check in and find out, because God is the most definitely a forgiving God. If you sincere and genuine, if you gonna pretend, if you're gonna pretend that you actually gonna change, then that's no need to waste your time, because the punishment don't happen to the Most High. The punishment happens to you. And that punishment, a lot of people think because certain things are not happening to them, but if you pay attention to people, there's things happening around them. Rather it's car breaking down, losing a house, finances go down, people dying. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. People be dying, and people don't realize they be the cause of why people dying. Like I just seen recently, 2 or 3 people that I've seen do something to me at a period of time, and those individuals are suffering from the deaths. The Most High don't mind taking nobody out. I know we or those who fit the category are anxious for to take the wicked out, but then that take away the whole purpose of the purpose. If he would just take all the wicked out right instantly, that's nothing. The wicked don't help themselves breathe, you know what I'm saying? But there's so much lessons and so much things that has to be done. It may seem like a slow process, but the process of how the Most High work is way faster and different than process here. Things in the spiritual realm are way faster than it is here on this planet, and that's why you see things materialize the way that it does, only because you have interference. That interference can be self, along with a combination of other things, or it can just be self, or it can be the outside influences that's an interference while you have your self together. You know what I'm saying? Such as myself have more outside interference than me interfering. I'm able to see those things most definitely clear than I have in the past, so it allows me to be able to navigate and allows me to understand, and as I understood what accountability actually is, and I have to take my part in what role I play, rather I'm knowledgeable or whatever that may be, which actually helps me actually make better choices or good choices, and be very observant and make sure that I just usually check in with the Most High man before I'm doing anything. I don't got time to be repeating cycles and lessons that I've learned in the past, or even experiencing some of the things I see other people experience. It's crucial out here, y'all. It's a lot to be thankful for. That's another thing, gratitude. Being thankful and gratitude. It's something you should be. I don't care if you're repeating the same thing every day. Show your gratitude. Show the universe harvest off that energy. Grateful for my shelter. I'm grateful for transportation. If you don't have transportation, I'm grateful for the transportation in the future. If you might lost your life, I'm grateful for the opportunity that's given to me to actually have another opportunity to be responsible, to have my driver's license again. Your manifestation is powerful. Your manifestation is real. Regardless of however long that it takes to actually obtain it, it will happen. You ever see negative things happen? Rather it happen fast or mediocre or long term, it's the same thing. So if you can actually not give your power to anything outside of you, but use it within yourself, and as you think and speak these things will happen. Ideas will come from the Most High, and visions will actually show themselves how you can navigate through these storms and through these distractions. Because right now, as it always has been, the world is full of a lot of distractions. There's good ones and there's bad ones. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that people forget about themselves in the midst of that, which means they're giving all their energy and time to people, places, and things, but not none to themselves. So while they're not giving none to themselves, it just makes them lose out. And again, it goes back to what I said about losing time. We're not going to be here a long time. You know what I'm saying? People say, preparation, like, yeah, I'm going to live to be 80 or I hope to be 90. There's nothing guaranteed. You can be at the wrong place at the wrong time or get mistaken. Rest in peace, the young lady in Kentucky, when the police, they opened fire at the wrong, location, and she ended up losing her life. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And speaking of them, they out of pocket too, man. These officers they're mixing their personality with professionalism, and I get it, but they have to understand that they are participating in a corruptive career, and there's agendas that's already always been set before they even thought about it. As a child, especially us men, we thinking police is like good guys and stuff like that. So you'll see us playing with little toy guns and playing like the police, and the bad guy is the bad guy. The question is the bad guy really the bad guy, or the bad guy is surviving? Because you got the people who claim that they're the good guy actually blocking all the opportunities and control the opportunities for people to actually be successful. Why do you think they want people to sell dope? They want people to sell dope because it makes them money. It increases the law enforcement, increases the law. If you take the dope sellers and users away, then it defeats the purpose of the revenue, along with feeling authoritative or authority over a man, which is their sovereignty, male or female, to have their sovereignty not controlled by another. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So a lot of people don't understand that, know that, and some will make concern and some very quiet about it, but yeah, that's the purpose of drugs. Pablo Escobar, think about it. This man was in the Fortune 500 as number one. What the hell is going on? Yeah, he was a businessman, so forth, so on, but they knew that this man sold drugs. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and millions of kilos. They knew this. But that partnership at some point had to end. So whatever they asked him to do or not do, since he wasn't going to do it, they just went in and killed him and got him out of here. Like El Chapo and the rest of them. They all in business. They all in cahoots together. You have some people that deny it. Some people don't want to speak on it, but we here to talk about it. We ain't ashamed to talk about nothing. They ain't ashamed to embarrass you or your family or somebody that's you're close to or someone in the community. Every community is combined together. There's no separation. Everybody be thinking like, well, I'm from this place and you from there, so we're not connected. As long as you're on this planet, you're connected. This world is a beautiful place. What makes this world seem like it's not a beautiful place, because I done heard people say, different term like, oh man, this world is crazy. No, it's just the people that's in the world that's actually needing some help. They need some help, but you can't help those who don't want to help themselves. You got a lot of people was bad when they were kids, and that behavior just carry on as adult. You know what I'm saying? That just who they gonna be. You know what I'm saying? They just not gonna be anything in life, and those people who not gonna be anything in life is not willing to learn and make those changes to be something in life, and they just stuck with that. That can be from the karmas from their reincarnation of many years prior before now. So themselves, if they would seek, they would be able to find out all the information they needed, but that's not their motives. They rather just, make people feel what they feel and hurt them the best way they can, by all means necessary. So especially chosen us who had these bad relationships, these karmics that we were dating, and their assignment was to wake us up from the slumber, for sure. Shouts out to them for that. Appreciate you. Thank you. And actually be sharp as we are and what we always been designed to be. But that stuff changes when you're a child, because you got this programming that they process when you a baby all the way up to 7 years old. And so now you taking orders from people instead of leading and seeing things with your third eye and so forth, so on. Some people third eye is still open even after 7 years of age, but at the same time, there's still a lot of programming that's not known or knowledge that the ears hear, but the brain has not functioned on a consistency of knowing what it is that actually the things that's been programmed. But as you get older, you start seeing the programs, ultra mind control and all that crazy stuff. But the most powerful beings on the planet is the chosen, whether people like it or not. We know that by the fact that we go through witchcraft and spiritual warfare every day, all day. There's not one day that we don't go through it. We don't look like it, and that's because we protected. We're divinely protected. People gonna shoot their shots. People gonna say blah blah blah, ha ha ha, yeah, whatever. And I bet you I can do this, and I bet you I can do that, and we'll see this and see that. But if only they knew, and only if they could reach out to some of the people who actually know. It's not funny for sure, and it's sad, real sad. So, a lot of people look at people and they already judge them based on how they look or how they talk or how they represent themselves or what representation is presented. And they always deceive themselves. For those who have that habitual habit, that habitual behavior, to judge people without actually giving the opportunity for a person to show you who they are. And then also people adding to that, people lose out on blessings because they judge people without getting to know who they are. So like with me, I've experienced a lot of that, and I healed, and I had to go within myself and understand people that you show nothing but love to treat you whatever way they felt, and you always give. You showed your loyalty, you showed your respect, you showed your nurturing, you showed them that you was willing to support them in any event that they ever experienced or was experiencing, whether it was their past or present, future. And these people just have hate, so much hate towards you, and they try to cover it up, and they do malicious things like stay away from you or be in and out or give you a little something while you giving them 100%, stuff like that. Made me think about that video I saw on Snap where a guy actually had a bottle. He was explaining, here's your bottle. He had a soda, and he poured that soda in that cap, that little cap that goes on top of the soda. He just kept pouring it. And after he finished it pouring it, you done gave everything that you could possibly give somebody or everybody. Then, in that little cap, he took it and poured it back in the bottle. He said, this is what people are giving you. So, I know a lot about that because I used to be a people pleaser. So I'm neutral with everything, meaning I'm not here to please people. But we can most definitely exchange, equal exchange if that's something you want to do. If I got to sit down and tell you a lot of stuff about things you should already know, I already know we're not a match. And I'm talking about if it's a relationship-wise. I mean, there's going to be some things you not know, but if you're not able to tell me some of the things that I understand, then I will understand clearly because I'm a good listener. But it'll show me how much work you've done on yourself. If we're doing business, it's the same thing. It's going to show me how much work you've done on yourself to be the best business partner that you can ever be or become with others, and also the best businessman or woman as you represent yourself as a boss, a CEO, all these different names that's used. President of the company, blah, blah, blah. It's going to show me. Your money is your ideas, your thoughts. The physical reality of the money, of the currency, which is currency's energy, but also the money itself is the results or the rewards of your creativity and your ideas that show you who you are. That piece of paper that people be killing people over and people be hating other people over like it's lack. It's no lack of money. That's why I understand why people are so selfish. It's no lack in anything. That's what abundance means. Abundance means everything is abundant. It means it's plenty. It's limitless. But you find people selfish with their time, their energy, their support. I've even been, for example, in a situation where there was a mistake with my license in the past, and that I had to take the test all over, and I end up having to get the permit again and so forth, so on, after having a license for so many years. And they had an expiration that I had no knowledge about. But the point that I'm making, it took me 2 or 3 years just to get my license back because the warfare, and then because no one actually wanted to help me while I'm helping myself. And so a lot of people want the energy of the chosen, but we understand we can't give people the energy that they want because they're not willing to give us nothing. You know, chosen male and female, they are actually doing everything on their own. And then when they blow up, the blow is blowing, or what they've gotten by working I can't even get the word out, diligently hard, people want to take it from them, or they want to feel like they're playing on their top. And chosen beings are not confrontational beings, so they're slow to anger. So before they react, you know what I'm saying? They're very, very, very dangerous people. Very dangerous people. Don't even have to touch a person. Don't even have to go tell nobody to do nothing. That spiritual realm, them light beings, them dark beings that people be serving, those dark beings serve and respect the chosen beings because they respect the Most High, and they also know deities, whatever, entities, demons, they all respect us as the chosen. They already know there's nothing gonna actually happen. Not the way they want it to happen, but the backfire, you know the energy gotta come back. It got to go somewhere, because if you're doing something to somebody and what the result's supposed to be, something's supposed to happen, that energy has to hit something. And so it's gonna go back to the sender. Would you just, when you can just think, pray, request, speak something, and don't have to be a part of a gang, or be a part of a cult, or be a part of some type of society that you can't trust the people in the circle anyway, because they betray each other all the time. And it's like the movies and all that good stuff where people be eventually at some time, like 50 Cent, how he got them different shows and stuff like that. Somebody get betrayed it at some time, at some point of time. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to go. So it's the same thing with that. They'll use you till they can't use you no more. You know, same thing as people who sell drugs. Going back to that for one more time, is that if that person who sells drugs is working for the police, it's just a matter of time when that police officer, DE agent, CIA agent, it's not all of them, it's just certain people. Cops not bad, it's just the group of people that's in there. They in there for the wrong reason, so they make it bad. And you gotta have it, because you got so many people out here breaking the laws that don't have to break the law. So certain events have to happen. So when I see people get shot now, even the women and stuff like that, and even the kids, I already know they're not dead, but I do understand that there's some type of karma debt. Rather they created it, or they relative, or somebody they being around that's actually in bad karma has rubbed off on them. There's done the three options, and I'm saying that's not more, but I'm using those three. And I'm gonna repeat them again. And the things that I'm saying about somebody else, you take heed to what I'm saying, because you have to pay attention to your own life. You only got one life. You're not going to live two unless the Most High granted. There's one, that somebody that they're hanging around with got bad karma. For two, they either have created bad karma on themselves. And for three, three would be like, even though I didn't use that, it could have been a fourth one, with generation curse. There's a lot of generation curses in everybody's family, and there's a lot of people who ain't trying to break them. They just adding more fire to it. And so when you got these siblings who don't know nothing, they grow up before they even turn adult doing the same thing that mom and daddy doing. Mom and daddy smoking and drinking and fucking cussing and doing ill will and slandering the gospel. Listen, they eyes see and they ears listen. They ain't got to move their mouth to tell you what they see. Hell, I just seen two little kids shoot out with the police. Man, them kids had to be, probably like 7 or 8. Little kid got a gun shooting. Like, what in the hell? So what do an officer do? They gonna have to shoot the kid. Why? Because the kid can kill somebody. They didn't show the rest of it, so I don't know if the kids got shot or not, but they asked them to put the guns down. But you think about it as a parent and an officer, you got somebody, child, and got a hold to their gun, or a gun somehow, some way, and having a shootout with the police. Mind blowing. I've been catching little things here and there, man. You know, people may think I don't be paying attention to stuff because of me speaking about spiritual things and stuff like that. But that's what we all are. People say things they don't understand. People say bad things about people who burn candles. Everybody burn candles. Your ancestors burnt candles, whether you like it or not. They did a lot of stuff. They did bad stuff and good stuff. And you choose which one you want to do. And then you have to live it out. Most High do give second chances, but how many chances do you think the Most High gonna get when He already know what you're gonna do before you say it or before you do it? People be playing Russian roulette when they play with the Most High. That's who they playing with. When you go against other people, hating other people and being mean to other people, that's the representation of the Most High. You can't be of light, the divine light, and you making mistakes tremendously by actually being a person doing the same thing that other people are doing. You're not actually standing out, and you're not being that light that's supposed to shine light on those circumstances, and actually hoping that those individuals who are actually struggling with that will actually transition or the process of actually doing something contrary better than what the circumstances are presenting themselves. So, you know, love is the key, man. Love is the key. Made me think about Gorilla. Gorilla can't find love because she's heartbroken. She's still unhealed. She's an attractive young lady. I don't feel like she should be having, the backside out and stuff like that because the men don't respect it. Even the men who say they like it, they don't respect women who actually have their cheeks out. You feel me? And the reason why, because he knows that somebody else is going to get her, for one, and then for another is that you see how much respect that she don't have for herself, so it's going to make him not have no integrity for her, even though it's already naturally in him for that type of man. Now, all men are not like that, but that type of man, he just not going to have no respect for her because he don't have nothing for herself. That she not standing in her divinity, as a queen, her divine power and stuff like that. I'm not talking about necessarily her, but I'm speaking in general as far as women. Now, her meaning Gorilla, I'm not necessarily talking about her when I state that, but that's in general. And women feel the same way about men as well. So, men and women have to understand, like, sharing your body and your fluids, your saliva, right? You going down on each other, or you kissing each other, you kissing your kids and all that, or kiss somebody's kids, or that's a dangerous game. You don't know what you tasting, especially when you don't do no checkups and stuff like that to know what's going on. And then the energy you exchanging. Here you are, you got things going good for you, and in this moment, you just decide that you want to give it up. You could be single, or you could be in a relationship with somebody, or you could be married. You decide you want to give up your goodies, male or female, and then all of a sudden things are starting to turn for the bad, slowly but surely. And you could see it for some people, and then some people who can't see it, they notice things, and people who can see it, they notice things as well, but they not able to stop it because you gotta fulfill that karma. It's crazy, man. It made me think about this one lady who was married and she was separated, and she left they both was alcoholics, and she talked about that, and importantly, you got the kids that love both parents, and they just couldn't pull through and just get some type of discipline and some type of form of help if there's extra help that's needed, some type of spiritual assistance or even discipline, and say, man, we got to put a stop to this. We know that it's very important for us to actually do this, not only for us, but also do it for the kids so they can understand what stability is like, and that we have to, and it's very important that we be different to the point where they can see the difference versus what society has for them. Society has something for all of us when we get older. They got something for you to see. And a lot of us have failed and will fall and will stay down from the wayside because society is built to destroy you in every way that's possible. And every little fabric, every little dream to be shattered. because they'll put people in front of you that you desire to do something and make you feel that you can't do it or it'll never happen. And so their goal is to make you change your thoughts and mind about what you want to become, what your reality you want to be. And so they throw all kinds of stuff out there. So you end up picking these type of things and end up experiencing these things. You know, like black people right now, they got roles, the movie roles, for example. They roles right now is to do nothing but corruptive activity, killing, lying, stealing, manipulating, deceiving, unresponsible in every way that you can see possible. And these people who are taking on these characters, it's an energy that is actually present besides them, and that this is a demonstration to tell melanin, aka black people, this is who y'all truly are. You know what I'm saying? Like, melanin, aka black people, have not even woke up. I'm talking about woke up, meaning really making change, and I say, oh, I'm woke, and I know this and know that. No, you take action on a day-to-day basis. And when you're that type of person to take action on a day-to-day basis, you're going to get attacked. And when you're talking about you getting attacked, you're going to tell the testimony when you overcome it. And you're going to always give the Most High praise. I met some people who say they're chosen. They're not chosen. They're very, they can fool the hell out you. I can tell you that. You want me to tell you how I really know? That's how I really know. And if they are chosen, they still need to fix some things within themselves. I can instantly, when I meet somebody, I could tell if they're chosen, or I could tell if they're a good person or a bad person, whether they say something or not. You know, being an empath and feeling people's energy, it can be annoying sometimes, but it's a good thing to have, because if you can't feel a person out, that's where the problems come in at. But the main story shows this one guy, I'm not gonna call his name out. He said he was chosen, and you see him talk and stuff like that, woo woo woo. But you never seen us click like this, because chosen's supposed to click like this. And when a male and female know that they're chosen, there shouldn't be no animosity. There shouldn't be no, well, I'm doing my thing over here and you doing your thing over here. We don't need to collaborate and we don't need to do nothing, because the Most High ain't going to put chosen beings where they're separated like society is already. That makes no sense to the fact that what I'm saying is, chosen being separated like society is matching the same energy and the same circumstance. So how could any chosen being, male or female, whatever age, from young, it's chosen at 16 on up, and even younger, that's going to be on the rising or is on the rising. Even they come in as babies talking and knowing vocabulary, know how to spell and all kinds of stuff. But the point is that they're going to be around each other and they're not getting along and helping one another. Miss me with that. You feel me? And then a chosen being should be able to recognize another chosen being. So I see there's a lot of chosen on the platform, and then there's some other platforms that I haven't tapped into, nor do I know if I will. But what I do know for the chosen that I have tapped into, they most definitely chosen, but it's time to come together. It's like the Mexicans, it's like the Jews. They come together and they build. But you know, people's problem is they want to do it all by themselves. We can't do things by ourselves. I remember I used to be like that, want to do everything by myself. Now that I don't mind receiving help, ain't nobody still want to, you know what I'm saying, everybody want to help, you know what I'm saying? So it's okay. Because I know God give us chosen beings, and other people who not chosen gives you the strength. Gives you the strength not only to endure, but conquer and overcome any and everything. And you got knowledge and wisdom and inner and understanding. And you are forced to be reckoned with, because ain't nobody can do nothing with you. Because they don't know what you know. And then now that you're moving in silence, you ain't telling nobody nothing. It really makes you dangerous. And normally you'll actually go and get on that phone and start venting to somebody, or you start text messaging somebody, or you go to your job, or you go to your business and you start releasing and telling people all the stuff that you're going through outside of all those things. And that gives them something to actually know about you more. And then it's also ammo for them to use against you. But you realize that you made that choice in the past, and now that you made those choices in the past and you learned those lessons, You know how to actually really pay attention and know if it's that important and you need to tell somebody, then you will tell them. But most importantly, you keep it to yourself and you go to the Most High about it. And that's why you're moving the way you're moving. Your enemy's watching you, whether you know it or not. Every form of fashion, tapping your phone and emails and got people watching you. Some of you people got people stalking you. I got people stalking me, you know what I'm saying? But touch my anointed, bring them no harm. Or touch my prophets and bring them no harm. Yeah, most I ain't playing. And a lot of them witches, warlocks, and regular people that you used to hang with and stuff like that, and family members, if you still call them family, I call them relatives. And so-called friends and acquaintances, they getting their shit rocked. And they gonna watch you rise to the top. And then after you rise to the top, one by one, each one gonna feather away. Some gonna feather away before you even rise to the top. They're not even gonna get this, watch you in this physical realm. They're gonna watch from the other side. A lot of people are sitting here talking now, begging for mercy. You know, I had did the cards today, and I'll start doing them on mine and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people not familiar with Issue, but Issue is the gatekeeper. Issue is the deity that opens and closes roads, and that card popped out today, and he most definitely giving your enemies, my enemies, the business. What I could tell anybody, Issue is like, you know, Issue, matter of fact, just speaking of, some people know, some people don't. He's a Orisha deity, but Issue is karma. When we look at the Ori, Ori means head. And the same thing like crown, Ori means your higher self. That is your guardian that guards you to do good in this life, to break your ancestor generation curses and stuff like that, and any assignments that you need to fulfill, or any curses that you need to break, or anything that you need to break from past lives. But with Issue, you don't want to have the problem with Issue. You know, I know a lot of people talk down about the deities and so forth. So they are the deities are the spirits of nature. You know, that we see the wind, you know, the fire, the earth, any and everything, the mountains, water. You know, people think these things are actually fairy tales, and you know, I know people paint the Orishas in a negative aspect. They have both sides, like anything out here, and I just tell people it's not the deities that actually taking the action by themselves. When people in the human form conjure these entities and demons and stuff like that, they're willing to sacrifice something to give to those deities and entities for a result against a human being. And yes, it's mind-blowing, but it's the truth. And yes, it's very sad because these people paint you a picture that they're loving, caring, and I'm not saying they haven't helped nobody, because they do help people, but when it's overall, these people could have been fixed society. They would have had to go to war, and some of them understand that, so they just choose to be, the word I'm looking for would be, they choose to be, I can't even think of the word that I want to use, but they choose to be, I'm just going to use the word in the middle. They choose to be in the middle, meaning they don't go to war unless they have to go to war, but they will go to war. But some of them are so easily influenced by another human being that may, like a male or woman, that want to keep a relationship by actually going against the woman or male's free will, by actually putting a love spell on them, or binding spell, stuff like that. That's a no-no. Or putting jar spells. If y'all start doing any of that crazy stuff, you need to make sure that you understand what you're doing. You better make sure that you understand very understood, because it can backfire, and it will backfire, and you're going to be in deep regret, and then you're going to be looking around crazy. God, please help me. I probably won't do it again. You know, I don't know how many times we all done said this stuff. Some keep saying it. Some ain't able to say it no more. And Some of us stop saying it. So, um, and sometimes going to the wrong person end up start doing spiritual work on you. It end up being your karma. You might have an idea like, dang, I think they doing something, but you have no clue. You ain't confirm it at that time, or may never be able to confirm it. But in all actuality, you end up understanding that you have to deal with something that you didn't really take time out to understand that it wasn't worth the time to even do it. So, I've been on here for a while. I've been on here for like over an hour. Congratulations to us. I appreciate everybody tapping in, tuning in. You feel like this is some good information for yourself, share with relatives, your friends, and stuff like that. And then there's plenty other information out here on the platform as well. That hopefully that what I'm saying to you guys that it's clearly I don't know what happened to it, understood. And I had somebody to say something earlier that I just wasn't gonna respond to that. But if I warn you about something and you tend to take it as a joke, or you want to play it, or the person want to play in the chat and be like, oh man, yeah, the guy was like, if it's a guy, you know what I'm saying, but he was like, yeah man, I fell for it, and now I'm dealing with the consequences. It's not to play with if I'm telling you to stay away from your exes or stay away from people. I'm not going to be mad and upset, not going to scream, not going to yell, not going to do none of that. That people choose to make mistakes and end up dealing with consequences, because I know I can't say nobody. I can give warning, but I can't say nobody. It's not my job to say people, unless I'm in a situation where God put me in a situation where I'm capable of doing it, then yeah. Which, like getting on here, talking, if I had to get on here, I wouldn't get on here, you know what I'm saying? I do this because this is what I am told to do. It's what I told myself before I came in this physical body to do. And I always knew something as I was growing up, I just didn't know what. And I really don't know everything, I just know a little bit. And most I like to do surprises sometimes. So, it's just a matter of time to see the whole full throttle. But I'm pretty much knowing enough about the idea about what we doing as far as the light and the dark and the good and bad. And there's so many people being misled out here. So you got to have somebody that's positive. People may look at me as a low level, or they may look at me as a nobody. It's okay. There's a lot of wealthy people in the world, and a lot of people who was looked at the same way. Now people look at them totally different. Their mouth is wide open. Some of them drooling. Some of them regretting because they were just as close as anybody could ever have been when they was actually right there while they was getting it out of mud. See, and the thing about it is people don't know what people go through behind the scenes, or even the things that they may show up the upfront, meaning, or the forefront is what I meant to say, to others expressing. You know what I'm saying? And people knock it. But as long as people are close to the Most High, they're going to win, because Most High going to show you how to navigate through all this crazy stuff. You're going to understand it's life. You're going to understand that getting emotional about things not going to solve anything, but actually making a change for those things that need to be changed. You being a leader to do those things, or you see potential in other people and help them navigate those skills and that talents that they have to actually take on that what needs to be substituted. All this stuff is being erased, man. I don't know why people thinking that the world was going to keep being shaky and these people were going to keep dominating people and doing what they want to do. The same way they taking people out, they getting took out. They're not going to put it on the news because then that inspire other people to get inspired. Like, oh, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what kind of motivation that's going to do to people if you see the top-notch people get their head knocked off and so forth, so on, or they got this going on, how it's going to make you motivated that they losing money, or they sick, or they have a lot of arguments, or they going through a bunch of drama. You know how much motivation that gives the world? That's why you gotta have a relationship with the Most High so you can see those things, man. And that will keep you motivated and keep you focused, because they gonna get on that screen and pretend that they got it all together. Don't. Some days when y'all don't see me on here, it's because I've been energetically drained. My goal is to get on here at least every day, if not every day, every other day, and most definitely give y'all some short content, some motivation, something that you can take a peep at or you may not know, and so forth, so on. And boy, I'm telling you, these spiritual attacks, these people really, they attack me a lot when I'm asleep. They attack all the chosen and other people. Don't get it twisted, because if you're not a chosen seed, or you don't know if you're a chosen seed, you'll know in due time, because the Most High will reveal it to you. Just don't be like them people who had the opportunity, that the Most High gave them opportunity to do it, and they just refused to do it. Like, nah, I want to take shortcuts. I want this way. Diddy could have been way greater than what he is now, but he took that route. He took that route. God gave it to him, and a lot of other celebrities, he gave it to him. People start indulging in all kind of nasty sex behavior. And when I say nasty, because they transmitting diseases and all that stuff, and taking risks to actually be doing raw stuff when they know they needed to be protecting themselves. Like, it's one producer or something like that right now that gave some female, somebody I don't even know, the rumors that gave HIV allegedly, you know what I'm saying? But said he's sick and sweet swollen, and said he kidney failure and he on dialysis and stuff like that. Karma's an MF. They say dialysis is one of the worst things you can ever do or have to take, and I can imagine that. But I thank God that everything in my body is always healthy and made always stay healthy. And if something's actually not functioning properly, give me this wisdom to know how to fix it. But also, with that being said, you have, when he said that he didn't have it, some HIV patients do go through kidney failures and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People just need to be responsible enough to actually be honest with other people and practice safer intercourse, and also go get a checkup. Quit being scared, since you're supposed to be so tough. You men start stepping up a little bit more. You feel me? Women are actually observing us. We're supposed to lead by example, or we are to lead by example. Not supposed to. We are to lead by example. And so when you're not leading by example, that gives her lack of faith as well, not to actually pay any attention to you. It don't have to be a sexual intercourse thing. Just respect the presence. You're a representative of the Most High, regardless if you choose the Most High or not. So just be very mindful. And I'm gonna need men to also stop or reflect on, you want to call women B words, and you got daughters and mothers and all that stuff, and you don't want none of that ill will stuff done to you or your people that you care about. Take that in consideration. You know, we need the hip hop culture to get better. Quit selling their soul and selling out, saying they got to make this type of music in order to live, when those people need you. I'm surprised all of them weak to me, for those who fit the category, that I'm surprised they haven't actually went on strike for more money, for one, and get on the Most High side, for two, which would be number one, and get some. They know about the spiritual work, because a lot of them do it, and a lot of them heard about it, but they're not doing it to protect themselves. They're doing it to get some type of materialistic gain, and to get the energy of humanity to actually support them. Like, your energy get harvested all the time, man. You gotta stay prayed up. They harvest the humanity energy to actually get your money and your energy, and these people be stealing your gifts, all kinds of stuff, man. I ain't even noticed. I mean, I knew a lot about game, because I got into the spiritual game early in my life, just based on some of the type of women that I attracted that actually did evil work and stuff like that I didn't know, that had masks on. You know, you thinking with your head down low instead of head on top. And then you also using the head on top of your shoulder. That's what I mean, head on top. I meant to say head on your shoulders. And you letting that below outthink the head on your shoulders, and, met some real wicked women. out here. And then, you know, the men in the background, you know, they don't like you, so they low key with it. So they start doing spell work and paying people to do spell work. You don't need all these weird people. And then whatever people that you have met, you only know a little bit about them and they only know a little bit about you, but they most definitely gonna do what they feel that they need to do to get you out the way. Especially men who are insecure and say there's a woman or women that's interested in you. You got a problem, fellas. You got a problem. He's gonna do whatever he need to do. I watched a guy pop a balloon when he was from Dallas. They got that little show where people be popping a balloon and stuff like that. Make story short, it just blends in what I'm talking about. And he pops the balloon. And she asked him, why you pop the balloon? He said, well, she said she was a divine goddess. And it just threw me off. And I was just like, well, you didn't even give her time to actually explain. So then when she explained, he said, oh, I want my balloon back. So he get his balloon back. So then she got to the last dude to make the story short. And the guy was from the same city she was from, and she had interest in him too. So he popped his balloon instantly. So what I'm saying is say he weak-minded because he gave up. He's like, well, I'm over here, he over there, and it's already a wrap for me. So you do got men out here who instantly give up. So then they get mad because he got mad. I mean, he popped that balloon like crazy. It was crazy how he popped that balloon, but get mad and just give up like that and start sending evil eye and negative energy. He sent that negative energy to that guy because that guy wasn't, he was very confident, like, shoot, we in the same city. I'm in Charlotte, you in Fayetteville. Yeah, it's some close stuff, but that's where you show people why you're different as a man or as a woman. This is why you show people why you're different. There's gonna be some indifference, you know what I mean? You just have the opportunity. If you don't get a man or a woman, it's meant not to have those individuals. Don't force it, man. Sometimes people headache, or sometimes the Most High wants you to have something way better than that. It don't have to be a negative or a positive thing. Just that's somebody for everybody. Even though, you know, women get upset that men be with multiple women, but there's a lot of more women on the planet than it is men. And all I can say to the women, if you want to be a woman, you want to hold a man down, then you most definitely have to give him respect. It's very important. You ain't giving a man respect, he's going to disrespect you. And if you're dealing with a man that's disrespectful, then he don't respect himself or you. So, you know, I hear a lot of women, for those who fit the category, and the rest of them not doing it. How they talk about men is this and men is that. Well, you like something about that type of man, and that's why you keep attracting them. And then there's also something within yourself that's attracting. Same vice versa for a man. You attract a certain type of woman, it's something within you that needs to heal. Something in the man and woman needs to heal in order not to deal with that type of scenario. There's a lot of stuff that people talking about. A lot of podcasts out here, whatever. Shouts out to everybody. I'd rather they're doing positive or negative. Because, I mean, God gonna handle all of us, so I don't gotta judge them. But if there's something the Most High want me to speak on, I'm gonna speak on it and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I always been a person to go against the grain, man. Just a child of justice, man. Just all this stuff is not necessary, but it is necessary for people to get the point. So, anyway, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate the presence and stuff like that, man. I'm grateful for y'all. Hope all is well once again. I send love and light to you guys, and hopefully you send the same thing back to me. Also, I hope that all be well in your life and all your endeavors, which means everything in your life be in good standings and positive, and I hope that you send the same thing back to me. If not, then, you know, at the same time, whatever you wish for me, may the Most High give you exactly what you wish back in return. But until next time, man, y'all already know. Olabade Olugbsean. Peace and blessing. We up out of here.